take a look at the iPhone 7 in 2019. At the time of this video, this is a 2.5-year-old iPhone, but it's still a great option for those of you trying to get into the Apple ecosystem. Right now, Apple offers this phone for $449 brand new, but in the used market like Swappa, you can find these for around $200 to $300 depending on the size and condition, which makes it a really excellent price. Alright guys, without further ado, let's see if this phone is still worth it in 2019. Let's get started. So let's go over the processing performance and software. The iPhone 7 features an A10 Fusion chip with 2GB of RAM, and the iPhone 7 Plus features 3GB of RAM. This was the first quad-core chip designed by Apple, and it truly shows how good their engineering team is. And when you combine the A10 Fusion chip with iOS 12.2, this phone just purrs and runs like a kitten. It is just very impressive what they've done. Many people like to bash the iPhone 7 because it only has 2GB of RAM and an older A10 Fusion chip, but in terms of real-life performance, this thing just runs like a champ. I don't have any complaints on the hardware or software on the iPhone 7. For biometrics and security, you have the second generation Touch ID sensor, which was first introduced on the iPhone 6s. The Touch ID sensor is very accurate and secure. A lot of people still love Touch ID over Face ID. The iPhone 7 was the first phone to have a haptic touch home button, since Apple did claim that many mechanical home buttons were acting up. Therefore, they introduced the new home button to ensure longevity. Now, this is some very important information I'm going to give you here. Make sure you buy the A1778 model of the iPhone 7 if you plan on buying a used one. Be sure to avoid the A1660 model, which is the model that usually factory unlocked, and it was originally sold for Verizon. The A1660 model has a very known issue here which causes no service. Apple claims it's a hardware component on the modem that has failed. Therefore, it can happen in the first year, or it can happen on my wife's phone, which was just 2.5 years old. Apple does have a repair program for this phone for 3 years from the purchase date. However, I did have a very hard time of getting this repair approved. So when I sent my phone in to get the recall service done, I thought everything was nice and smooth, and then the technicians from Apple had some kind of vague claim of unidentified damage specified on repair, so I called to get more info, but the senior advisor from Apple couldn't figure out why the tech put that, and therefore I was back and forth with the repair, and now they're wanting $319 for the repair when there was no physical damage or a crack on my screen. This phone has always had a screen protector and a case. Luckily, after multiple attempts, I finally had a very nice senior advisor that understands my frustration, and he approved the repair with no charge. But it took many times of calling back and forth. So I would just avoid this headache and get the A1778 model, and do not get the A1660 model, unless it's been repaired by Apple. But even then, I wouldn't have too much faith in it either. The iPhone 7 has a 4.7-inch screen running at 720p. It's a great screen, and its pixels per inch is 326. It's not considered the best screen or the sharpest on the market, but it does have very good color accuracy and excellent viewing angles, and the screen is PWM free, so if you have any eye problems or you're sensitive to PWM, then LCD iPhones are a better choice for now. On the front of the iPhone 7, we're rocking a 7-megapixel camera with a 2.2 aperture and a 1080p HD FaceTime camera. The picture quality is pretty good overall. For the main camera, we do get a 12-megapixel sensor here with a 6-element lens and with an aperture of 1.8, which brought better low-light performance compared to the 6s. A big step up from the 6s was OIS is now included on the small iPhone 7, which brought much improvement. iPhone 7 also introduced stereo speakers, which was a big step up from the iPhone 6s. The sound was much more clear, deeper, and louder. It was just all around better. But the iPhone 7 was the first iPhone to lose the headphone jack, so if you really need that jack, your only option to have the latest iPhone is the iPhone 6s. So in conclusion, yes, the iPhone 7 in almost mid-2019 is still worth it. You get a 720p P3 LCD screen, an A10 Fusion chip with 2GB of RAM, a good low-light camera with OIS, an aluminum design that's actually more durable than the glass-back iPhone 8. You also get stereo speakers and IP67 water resistance. In the used market, an average iPhone 7 can be had around $250 to $300 depending on the size and condition. That's a great price that will give you a great iPhone to use, and you should be able to get software updates until September 2021. Alright guys, I hope this video was helpful in making your iPhone 7 decision a little bit easier. I got the iPhone 8 coming up next. I'm going to be doing the same thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys for the continued support. I really appreciate it. Thanks again. Peace out.